Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Let's get these cameras situated. Let me know if you're here. Leave me a comment. Let me know where you're checking in from. And we are going to get started literally 1 minute. Make sure you have some water. Make sure you have a notepad. Make sure you have your pen and paper because I'm about to give you some steps and I need you to apply them at the moment that we get off this. So I'm going to be holding you accountable. Grab some paper, grab some pens, and let's get started. So it's 8:05. I feel like we can get started now. So, hi everyone. Good evening. Good morning, depending on when you're watching this. If you're watching this later on, make sure you leave a comment saying replay. But for those that are here with me live, my name is Jedalise Ferdinand, and I am the CEO of Audacious Solutions, which is a learning and development agency. I'm also the founder of the Create, Launch, and Profit system. I came up with Create, Launch, and Profit because it was my systematic approach to going from online course concept to actually launching and eventually creating a passive $1 million empire. So, some more about me. Yes, I am the CEO of Audacious Solutions, but I'm also a mom, a wife, a mom to two little girls, Harmony and Serenity, who are my world. I'm married and I have a 9 to 5, which I love. So, one thing you will never hear me talking about, at least for right now, is about bashing people who have corporate jobs, people who have 9 to 5s, because my main slogan and merch coming soon, we're going to speak it into existence, is one stream of income is too close to broke. So I believe in having multiple streams of income. I believe in utilizing your current position, utilizing corporate America to fund your dreams, to fund your passion. And hopefully, if you're as blessed and lucky as me, you're able to combine your 9 to 5 skills into a online course like I was able to. So in my 9 to 5, I am a learning and development consultant. I've been a learning and development consultant for almost 10 years. What that means is that I am literally paid to create content, to facilitate workshops that are going to help employees, supervisors, directors, CEOs truly be the best leaders, lead the most effective teams, and just overall focus on their career and be able to grow in their career. So once I knew that I had a skill that, let's be honest, I get paid 6 figures. I am in the tech industry. So I knew if they're paying me 6 figures to sit here, create content, to facilitate training, I'm sure that there's a way that I can package this and create an online business. And that's when the seed for an online business started, because I knew if they're investing in me and a nice salary of 6 figures, I must have something good, right? There must be something about what I'm doing that is quantifiable, that is profitable. So again, I'm also the founder of Audacious Solutions, a learning and development agency. What do? We create courses, we create content, we audit your courses. Let's say that you have already started creating your online course, but you need some suggestions, you need some advice. Reach out to us. We can work and collaborate with you to ensure that your course is ready to be launched to the world. We can help you strategize if you're looking for a way to think about what is the best systems, what is the best sales funnels for my course. We also can help you with design, and we do done for you services for our top tier clients. But you're here today for Course to Cash Jumpstart. So, Course to Cash Jumpstart is a 3-day live event when we are going to tackle the three questions that I hear the most often when it comes to creating an online course. How do I pick a topic, right? How do I pick a topic that I'm passionate about, that's going to make me money? Because as I told you, I have a lot of things going on. I'm a corporate baddie, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm in a sorority, y'all. I do a lot. So I knew if I was going to start a business, it had to be something that, number one, has to be profitable, and two, that I actually enjoy. So we're going to tackle that on day one, which is today, your $1 million course topic. On day two, tomorrow, we're going to talk about how to price your online course. Sometimes that is a question that I receive from people is, how do I know what the appropriate price for my course is? What price should I start at, especially if I am a new, if I'm new to this, and this is the first time that I'm launching my online course. For those of you joining me on IG, feel free to hop on Facebook if you want to see the slides. And I'm also streaming on different places. So thank you. And then on day three, we're going to talk about the systems that you need to have in place to create a passive online business. Again, I am a person that is multifaceted. I have multiple streams of income. So in order to be effective, we need to have certain systems in place. So I'm going to talk to you about what those systems are. A lot of times that might be a reason that stops you from creating your course, because you don't know, hey, okay, I have this course idea, but where am I going to create it? How am I going to sell it? Where are people going to purchase it? We are going to talk about all those things on day three. So let's talk about how all of this started, right? It started with my search for financial freedom. Early on in my career, I knew, especially the moment I found out I was having my first daughter, that I wanted to live a certain lifestyle. I wanted to be able to provide for my daughter while also being able to maintain my lifestyle and elevate my lifestyle. So I knew that I had to come up with a different stream of income, but I didn't really have time, which means that I didn't really have time to get another job that I had to physically check in. For those of you that don't know, my first daughter, she has been diagnosed with autism. So I really knew that, first of all, if you have a special needs child, you know that it's incredibly expensive. So let's talk about that. But I knew that I needed to create a stream of income through a avenue that I can still show up for my child. I can still show up for my family. So, that's when my mind started to go, start thinking. I started thinking, like, what can I do? I started following a very influential financial educator called the Budgetista, and I actually started working for her in her online academy called Literature Academy. This is a post that when she highlighted me on her platform to let everyone know that I had helped turn her academy from 6 figures a year to 7 figures a month. We were able to do that by identifying a process for people to become financially free. The Budgetista now, since we started working, I worked with her for almost 5 years. She now has a show on Netflix called Get Smart with Money, has a New York Times bestseller called Get Good with Money, and is a constant on The Real and all the Good Morning America shows. So she was the one who kind of opened my eyes to understand that, hey, we all need to start thinking about different ways to make money. And how do we do that? Let's start with thinking about, what are you already known for? What are you already getting paid to do, right? Because obviously someone believes in you. So maybe other people will also purchase from you. So myself, I've also, since then, since the Budgetista, have helped other people create online courses, from people in education, directors, CEOs. Most recently, I am in Atlanta now, so a lot of people in the beauty industry are attracted to me. And my client was able to generate over $6,000 from her online course before even opening her waitlist, right? She was able to pre-sell. And I'm going to talk to you about how you can do that as well. The good thing about doing that is that before you spend time creating, you're actually seeing and asking questions and letting people, you're seeing if there's an interest, and you're asking questions to, guess what? That's going to help you create the exact thing that people are looking for. And that's some of the things that I talk about in my program. Hi, and if you're just joining me, say hi in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're located. And yeah. So you may be wondering, is the online course industry still profitable, right? When I really started my business besides my consulting business, I started as a consultant first. And then I expanded into myself selling online courses and helping people one-on-one. It was during COVID, right? And it was a perfect time for online courses because everyone was home. We couldn't get together. So people had to figure out a way to get this information to sell their services online. So it was booming. But is it still relevant today? Well, according to the Forbes article, which I just pulled about a week ago, it says the online course industry is estimated to reach $325 billion by 2025. Now, I want you to think about that. There is no such thing as a saturated market, a market where there are too many people speaking about the same thing, talking about the same thing, right? There is space for you. If you're in this room, I want you to believe and I want you to know right now that you live in an abundant world. There is enough for all of us. Now, online courses, we're talking about academies, they're still relevant. And as you can see, Forbes is still stating that that industry is growing. Is growing. So you still have an opportunity to cash in now, to create your online course now and get some of that $1 billion, okay? Let me know in the chat. Put Billy in the chat if you're trying to make $1 billion. If you are claiming that some of that $1 billion is yours, I need you to put Billy, a billion, in the chat. If you don't trust Forbes, that might be your preference. I had to check on Google and I'm like, okay, are people still even searching the term online courses? What does that mean? People are looking for online courses. And clearly you can indicate that, yes, it has. This is from August. This is when I took a Snapchat, but the trend are still going up. We are still seeing an increase in searches for online courses. Especially, you have to think about it. People are getting used to receiving content through video formats, right? Hello, TikTok, Google, Reels. This is the best time to kind of monopolize that. People are already used to learning online, right? Because when you're searching, I know I do my TikToks now. I used to call them my Googles for everything, but TikTok is right now one of the number one search engine. Can you believe that? People are looking for information online and they're looking for information through video content. So myself personally, I do consulting, but my first launch, I said 2 launches without ads, just using an email list, regular girl, I was able to generate over 11,000. Since then, I've been able to consistently generate 4 to 5 figures a month whenever I launch. So, okay, if you're in the room, I want you to feel like you're in the right place. So, who is this for? This is for the corporate baddie like myself, right? A corporate baddie to me is someone who is a professional in their industry, someone who has, who is recognized for their expertise. You may be a manager, a director, a CEO. You're someone who's been in the game for a while, and now you're looking for a way to monetize what you already know. Maybe you're a book CEO. Hi, everyone over here. A book CEO is someone who is so busy, who has a clientele that is so large that they have a wait list and they can't even service everyone. A lot of my done for you clients fall under the book CEO. They were losing out on money and had to think about, okay, if I can't service people one-on-one, what is another way that I can still provide a service, still make some money, and still share my story with the world? And that's when they reached out to me to create online courses. Maybe you're a busy mom, a busy parent like myself, and you're looking for another side income. I literally was talking to my sister. I believe she's here right now live. And even she was asking me, like, what can I create an online course, right? She's a single mom of 2 kids. And I'm like, I don't know. What are you really good at? Like, what's your special sauce? And she was like, I can make a meal out of anything. Like literally, especially if you're on a budget, you know what that looks like. You're looking through your pantry and like, what is the best meal I can create here? She's really good at that. And I was telling her, I'm like, that's actually a really good topic. That's something that I'm searching all the time. Let me know if you're a mom and you're tired of thinking about what to cook. Wouldn't you buy short snippets or recipes or like budget-friendly nutritional meals or meals that just taste good? Because we Latina over here, so we're going to give you some flavor. Or maybe you're a financially fit baddie. To me, a financially fit baddie is someone who is interested in their financially in financial literacy. They're on top of their credit score. There's someone who's interested in investing. So you're looking perhaps to make more money so that you're able to invest into these other streams, right? You want to invest in stocks, you want to invest in real estate. You're looking for a way to elevate your life, right? You understand that in order to make it in this world, we need some change. I mean, look at what's going on in the news all the time. Even though I make six figures in my 9 to 5, I don't feel comfortable only having that one stream of income. I'll be honest with you. I really, really don't. I believe that we need to have multiple streams. I believe that you need to bet on yourself. And what's better than betting on yourself in this safe space through selling online courses and topics that you already know? So I'm going to say the next 30 minutes, that's my goal. We're going to talk about these three things. We're going to identify the topic that you're passionate about, because one thing for sure is if you're here, if you're creating online courses, I don't want this to be something that you do just to make money. We already do things to make money, right? Every time when we clock in, even though I love my 9 to 5, sometimes I don't want to be there, right? Sometimes I don't want to do that. And yes, you have those days of entrepreneurship, but we're going to create a course from something that you really love. I'm going to walk you through the process to ensure that you are sure that this is going to sell, right? That your market wants this and that you're giving them exactly what they're looking for. And then I'm going to talk to you about how to test that concept before you even create, spend hours editing, all of the things. How do you do this? And then if you stick to the end, and I will send you my How to Pick a Profitable Online Course Guide, which if you purchase the VIP ticket, you already have that in advance. That's the workbook that has all the steps I'm about to go through in detail, so that at your leisure, maybe with this replay sidebar, you can purchase a replay later on, but you'll be able to go through the steps in your own space. All right. Let me know if you guys are ready. If you're ready. Everybody's ready? Okay. I just realized I cannot see comments in case if anyone is leaving comments. Comments. Oh, okay. I think now I'll be able to see comments. All right. So let's get started. Let's keep going. Okay, so the number one question, ready? Okay, I see the comments now. Thank you. All right, so what should your online course topic be, right? Like, what are we going to spend our time doing? And for those of you over here, if you want to see the presentation, join me on Facebook. You could find me at Create, Launch, and Profit, okay? So what should your online course topic be? All right, let's think about this. What are you known for? Sometimes you're like, I don't know what I'm known for. This is the perfect time when you ask people that you love, your family, your friends, ask your coworkers, ask your boss. I know that prior to working in the tech industry, I worked in the government industry, and I was in HR, but I worked really closely with the financial people. As the people in finance, they would review RFPs, which are requests for proposals. If you're ever thinking about doing work with the government, you understand that request for proposals are something you're going to have to do. And I was talking to my coworker one day and I'm like, hey, you review request for proposals or RFPs all the time. This is a skill that you can package and share that knowledge, because as a person that wants to get into government contracting for my business later on, I would love to have that information. So what problem do you solve? What are you known for? Right? Maybe you're known for being very resourceful. Maybe you're known for budgeting. I know that's how one of my mentor, Tiffany the Budgetnista, started. She used to help her friends create budgets one-on-one all the time. They just knew that she was really good at it. And she was a regular girl. She still is. So she was able to explain hard concepts like finance and budgeting and credit repair to people that had no idea. And then she realized she was really good at that. So what are you known for? What problem will you solve, right? Because the one disclaimer is, let's be honest, people are busy. They take online courses for one reason, and that's because they want you to solve a problem, and they want that information fast. right? They don't want to do everything is on YouTube. I'm going to tell everything is on YouTube. But they pay for your course, for your program, because they want you to give them the answer. They want you to guide them through the solution. So what are you known for and what problem will you solve? If you're not sure, here are some places where you can possibly think about, okay, what is the content? Like, where am I going to get this information from? Your life experiences. You're an adult. If you're still here on this earth, it means that you've accomplished some things. You've gone through some things, and by God's grace, you've made it. You've made it. So what is a life experience that you can talk about and help somebody else get through, right? What is something that you're so proud of that you succeeded in your life? You know, I know that one of my most like proud milestones is that I was able to purchase my first home while I was 6 months pregnant, 25 years old. I was a baby. And I had no idea how to do that, but I had that goal and I figured it out. So what is something that you've accomplished in your life that you want to help people with? I've helped people create courses about how to navigate college. As someone who went to college and grad school, you understand that it's a system, right? Imagine if you had a course that taught you how to maximize your experience during college, how to maximize the grant opportunities, scholarships opportunities. Like, wouldn't that have been helpful? So what have you accomplished? What are some achievements in your career? Have you received any awards? Are you recognized? Have you been recognized for anything in your industry? Maybe you've completed a certification. If you're not sure, do some research, right? Do some research. And again, like some research when you're talking about where to get the content, what are you known for? Ask the people that know you the best. So again, people buy courses for one reason. In order for it to be profitable, it has to kind of fall into these three different things. What makes it profitable? Number one, you're guiding people through a transformation. So that's why you have to understand, like, what are you known for? What is the story that you're going to tell? Everything is storytelling. That's how people know. Next time, I want you to look up the art of storytelling, right? That's going to be your first task for today. Look up the art of storytelling so that you truly understand how people sell by telling stories and how you can use your story to create your $1 million course. Right? If it's not something about your story, think about your expertise. That is the easiest way to think about what your course should be. What are you already getting paid for, right? Because that means somebody else recognizes you as an expert and they know that you're very good at that. And think about your buyers, right? A lot of times you're thinking about, who do I want to serve? Once you do that, you will ensure that you will have a profitable course. Before we move forward, right, I want to make something very clear. Yes, I want you to create an online course based on things that you know, what you're considered an expert in. But we're here to make money. You're about to create a business. So let's describe the difference between what is a business owner, an entrepreneur, and what makes you an expert. Experts understand what people need. But when you're creating a product, when you're creating a service, you need to put your entrepreneur hat and identify, what do people want? And then you're going to use the language of your audience and convert what they need to be successful to reach that transformation and package it into what they want. So I'm going to say that again. As an expert, you understand what people need, right? But as an entrepreneur, you need to understand what people want. I'm going to give you an example. One of my clients, she's a keto coach, my keto coach as well. She's amazing. And we were talking about different products that she can create, different services. And she's like, keto's about being sugar-free. But let's be honest, sugar-free is not sexy. That is what keto is. It's about decreasing inflammation and utilizing a sugar-free lifestyle, right? To do that. I love keto. I've lost over 70 pounds doing keto in the past. I love keto. But as we're talking about, courses that she can create or products, I was like, sis, you can't focus on the sugar-free thing. People don't want to hear that. Talk about different fast food options that you can have living the keto lifestyle, right? That's something that's going to attract you. Like, okay, let's not talk about being sugar-free, but let's talk about how different fast food options, different keto desserts, right? There's so many desserts you can make on keto. People don't think that you can have dessert on keto because you think you can't have sugar, but you can. So again, what is the way that you can turn what people need, which is, for her example, a sugar-free lifestyle to reach their fitness goals, and turn it into something that they actually want to buy. So once you're thinking about this, right? First, you're thinking about what you're good at. Now you're getting more into your audience. What do they want? Because you need to create the content that they want, and you need to make sure that it's exactly, and it's packaged in a way that they understand it's what they need as well. So again, create the content that people actually want to buy. And how do you do this? You have to ask people. You have to ask people. Maybe you're sitting here and you're like, well, Jeralis, I don't have an audience. So who am I going to ask? Because I'm trying to make some money, but I have nobody to ask. I'm going to get there. Okay. I promise I got you. But let's say that you do have an audience, right? Let's say that you already have a mailing list. You have people following you on social media. You can do a survey. If you're utilizing social media, utilize polls on your stories, right? You ask questions and be like, hey, give them, you understand again what they need. So perhaps give them options. What would you like a course on? If I created an academy, maybe change the terminology. If I provided a digital product, a digital service, what would you want it, like, what would you want it to be on? And you give them examples and have them vote. Do a discovery call. You need to understand that you have a target audience. You have people that what you're creating is going to be exactly what they need, right? So do a discovery call with them. Like, do one-on-ones. I am a big supporter of, before you do something passively, like creating a product and selling it online, you need to do it actively. You need to make sure it works. Before I created my online course, even though I have almost 10 years experience in learning and development, I had to make sure that what I was creating was going to help the average person, right? Or my target audience. So what did I do? I did a lot of one-on-ones. I did a lot of free consultations. I became a coach for people. I documented their questions. I documented their process, right? One thing you'll realize once you have your target audience in mind and you start doing these these discovery calls and asking them these questions to identify what they need, most people have the same questions, right? And here's a little tidbit, a little nugget for you. Every time I schedule a consultation, I do a live class, like a master class. In the registration, I ask them one question. And this one question you can utilize, change it for your industry. But what is your biggest challenge when creating an online course? What is your biggest challenge when creating a menu for your family? What is your biggest challenge when you're trying to get into the keto lifestyle? What is your biggest challenge when you're helping your child get to college? Like, there's so many topics. I even helped a mom one time create an online course about how to have a healthy co-parenting relationship, right? Listen, I have a lot of girlfriends who are going through that right now. What if you had some tips from somebody that's been through it, right? How to have a healthy co-parenting relationship with someone. Is she a psychologist? No, she's just a real mom, a real woman that has been through the situation and wants to help other people. Okay. So now that you've identified what you're really good at, you've talked to some people and you ask them like, hey, what do you need? What do you need? What are your questions regarding this topic? I'm thinking about creating this. What about this topic would you want me to elaborate on? You use it in your own terminology, right? If you can tell about me, like, I am an expert in what I do. I have a master's degree in learning and learning and development. But when I promote online, when I speak to my audience, I speak how I speak, because I had to learn that really fast, that The purpose of communication is for you to get a message. So what is the point? I'm trying to impress you, or I'm speaking too high level and you don't understand what I'm talking about. I was thinking with my entrepreneurship mind, my expert mind, right? Remember, I told you you're the expert, but you need to think like an entrepreneur. You need to think like a boss. So, as an expert, you may get too deep into the woods and go too deep, use terminology people don't even know about. That's not going to help a person. Think as an expert. How can you utilize what you know to help people reach a goal that you've accomplished? And guess what? As you're having these conversations with people, as you're doing these consultations, you provide these one-on-one services, you're also, just doing your research. Take note of how people answer your questions, right? I used to, when I first started on social media and I was talking about online courses, I would like my social media, it would say e-learning, right? Because that's what I do in my 9 to 5. We create e-learning, we do instructional design, but I'm not selling to corporate on social media, right? So why would I use the term e-learning? And I'm like, why am I doing it? It took some time, but I'm so deep into my craft that that's the mind I have, right? And I changed my terminology to online courses. That's what people know. Some people say digital courses. Some people say online academies. It's all the same things. So, all right, let's talk about now. What do you need to do to make sure that you're going to make some money? You have to continue doing research. Okay. Number one place, I'm going to update this to say Google, but also TikTok. Literally, I need you to, after we leave this conversation, go on Google, go on TikTok, and I want you to search your industry. I want you to search for the topic that you're thinking about creating an online course and look at what people are saying about that topic. Are there other people who have online courses in that same topic? What questions are people asking, right? I want you to do your Googles. YouTube. Listen, you need to understand the market. You need to know what's out there, what's going to make you different, right? So go on YouTube. Again, you're creating an online course, which is a video format like we're doing right now. So wouldn't it make sense to go on another video platform and see what videos are available on the topic you're thinking about? And guess what? This is what I want you to do when you go on YouTube. I want you to look at the comments. What are the questions that people are asking? What are the comments that they're leaving? The good comments about what they liked about the video and the bad comments of what they, wish that it was there. Another website that I really love is Uber Suggest. Uber Suggest, it looks up keywords. It tells you if your topic is trending. It pulls up the top articles that are receiving the most traffic when it comes to your topic. So this is important for you to know, right? Again, we're doing market research. This is what it means to do market research. Market research means that you're going to look in the market, you're identifying, you're researching, you're discovering what is out there already on this. What are people asking, right? This is what you're doing, especially if you don't have an audience to ask directly. You're going to look at other people's audiences and see what people are liking, how they like to receive the information, what questions they're having. I want you to go on Amazon, right? And not to go shopping, but I get it. I'm on Amazon every day. I want you to go on Amazon and look up books in your topic. And then I want you to look at the reviews. Same thing that you would do on YouTube. Look at the comments. Look at the things that people wish that was covered in that book, the things that they liked about the book. And because right now you're taking notes and you're going to create an Excel sheet, right? And you're going to document this. What are the questions people are asking? What are the comments people are leaving? How are they asking the question? Right? Because again, you're thinking as an expert, but you have to use the lingo, the terminology that your audience is going to use. And you can only do that by looking to see how they're answering their questions. Facebook groups are the key. They're free. Listen, as I was creating my online courses, I started joining different Facebook groups for moms, right? I just told you who this is for, whom I believe my target audience is. So I joined Facebook groups for entrepreneurs, women that are bosses. I like to call you guys bosses, CEOs, for mom groups. And I asked them questions. What is your biggest challenge when creating an online course? I would ask in the group and people would answer, right? I would go to the search in the group and look up online course and see what questions people asked about it, what comments people left about it. It's a great way to do market research, right? Ask the people. Facebook groups are still, they're lit. I'm in a million Facebook groups. I feel like, listen, I'm that person. If I'm your target audience, you're gonna find me in a Facebook group. I'm in a Facebook group for moms, for my neighborhood, my Peloton, for keto. I'm literally in a million Facebook groups. Like, I'm quick to jump to a Facebook group and I'm quick to join. So don't sleep on Facebook groups. And finally, podcasts. Podcasts are right now one of the top 3 platforms that people go to get information, right? We have Google, TikTok, podcasts, we have YouTube. They're up there. People are utilizing podcasts. Look for podcasts that you can search on Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to a podcast. You can search now keywords. You can search for podcasts that are titled similar to what your course are. But again, what are you doing? You're looking to see what's in the market. You're looking to see what's trending. What are people searching for? And you're taking notes. What are the questions people are asking? What are the comments people are leaving? What do they like? And what do they wish that was there? Right? What don't they look? You take that as, if they don't like something, that's a way that you can monopolize the market. Be like, oh, she came at this topic from this angle. I can come at this topic from this angle. Okay. This is like one of my favorite quotes from Bill Gates. Competition is always a fantastic thing. As you're doing your searches, if you see like, man, there's over 1,000, a million, there's so many courses already talking about this. That is a great thing. Why? Because that means that there's money in this. Okay. If someone else has spent time creating a product, a service in this topic, then you're on the right path. Competition is always a fantastic thing. Don't let that deter you from creating your business. Right? And this is just a reminder. As you're researching, identify people that you feel are experts in your industry, right? And start following them. Listen, this is like a catch-22. You do need to understand who is out there. You need to understand who are your competitors, but I don't want you to get sidetracked. You are you. I want you to identify, what your secret sauce is. What I mean by your secret sauce is what makes you unique, right? And how do you know that? How do you know what makes you unique? You know that by doing your research and looking at the different people that are selling what you're selling, right? Because you're going to figure out, how am I going to stand out? Here's some things that I feel make me stand out, to give you some example. I'm not a random influencer. When I did my Googles and my TikToks and I'm searching, I realized that a lot of people that are teaching people how to make money online, how to create online courses, they're either influencers or they're really random people who started a following and are showing you how to record on video and sell it online. That is not what I do. I am a trained professional in this industry. I have expertise in creating content that's going to take people through a transformation. Why is that important? Because you don't want to create something that's trash. You don't want people to take your course and say that it is trash. Why would they say it's trash? Because you did not get them to the place that they wanted to get. They were not able to achieve what you told them they were going to achieve. Right? So that what stands me apart. I focus on creating quality content. I'm never going to sit here and just say, hey, just get on video and record and sell it. And look at me. Yo soy Latina. I'm Afro-Latina. I am from Dominican. I speak Spanish. I speak English. I'm a millennial. This is what makes me different. as I was researching and looking at my audience, I realized, hey, no one is really looking like me out here. Like, there might be one or two, but there's still space for me, because maybe you're here because you like the way I talk. You like my people, like they say they like my accent. I don't hear it. I always ask, is it a Philly accent? Is it a Dominican accent? They'd be like, girl, it's both. It's all good. But if you can relate to the way I speak and you like that I keep it real and I speak to you, I'm bougie, I'm ratchet, I believe in the Lord, I do all the things, then that's why maybe you're attracted to me. Right. But what I want you, again, if you're creating a business, you're going to come as your authentic self, because people are going to buy because they relate with you. You don't need to change. Speak in your authenticity. So as you're doing your research, this is how you're going to make sure that it's profitable, right? Because you're going to identify what makes you unique. Why should people buy from you? And we're going to pimp that out. So now that you've identified what you're passionate about, who you want to serve, sometimes that's how you go to your online course topic. You have an audience that you want to serve. You're like, man, I really want to help parents with children with autism. That's my most recent course that I helped someone create, which really touched my heart. My client, she's an autism activist, and she helps nonverbal children that don't speak, learn to speak by changing their diet. My baby is nonverbal. That touched my heart, right? So how did she come up with the topic? She identified who is the person that she wants to help. Who are the people? What is the audience, right? Or you're identifying the topic by thinking about, what am I known for? What am I passionate about? What have I gone through in this lifetime that I'm so proud of because I'm still alive today? Right? We all been through some things. You're an adult. You've been through some things, but you're alive and you're here. You can do this. Like, what is that? Right? And now that you did your Googles, you did your searches, and you looked at what's out there, you identify what makes you unique. So now you need to test it. How are we going to prove that this is going to be profitable, right? Because like I told you earlier, you need to test these things. You test it through talking to your audience. That's number one, right? I'm going to suggest that you do this actively. What I mean by actively is you need to have one-on-ones. You need to create a systematic process to accomplish that goal. The only way that you're able to do that is by identifying where people are starting from and identifying the steps to get them to the finish line. And how do you know that? By talking to people, by doing research. You have to be active in the process. And then you're going to package that. And then you're going to start making money online. And you don't have to show up in person. You'll be able to know your people so well that you're going to be able to answer their questions. And this is why some people say you have to put in 1,000 hours of performing, right? 1,000 hours of you making sure this process works. And I'm going to take that back, and I might change this slide later on. I don't think you need 1,000 hours, but you need to know what you're doing. You need to identify the process, and you need to test it out. So the second way that you're going to test your concept, you're going to make sure that this is going to make you some money, because we're here to make some money. Number one, one-on-one consultations. You're going to go to the Facebook groups and ask questions, right? You're going to talk to people. And then I want you to create a beta test group, right? So how do you do that? Well, you've created a really great offer. An offer is you have this concept and you're saying, hey, I've created this offer. I am looking for 10, 5, 15, 20 people to join me and accomplish this goal with me, right? I'm going to show you how to stop worrying about what you're going to cook every single night by creating a budget, by creating a really great grocery list that can make 100 meals for you under $100. Nanny, that's for you, right? And share with the people that you reached out, that you have talked to, that have reached out to you. Sometimes there's people out here, there's somebody right here, right now, that people are already reaching out to you and be like, hey, do you provide this service? Do you have this course? Is there something I can buy to learn what you're doing? And you're like, man, I wish I had something that those are the people you need to reach out to. Who's reaching out to you? Right? And if you don't have people, join Facebook groups, and this is what you do. You show people in the group that you're an expert, right? How do you do that? You start answering questions. You start posting, not normal spammy stuff, but you start posting different tips. You start posting, hey, look at what I created. And then people are going to see you as an expert in the Facebook groups. And then most Facebook groups have a day of the week that they allow you to promote your product, your service, right? And that's when you're going to jump in and be like, this is my opportunity. Be like, hey, I actually am going to do this. You don't have to call it a beta test group, right? Beta means that you're testing a proof of concept. You could be like, hey, this is like my introductory course. I have this new program and I'm launching it for the first time at this rate, blah, 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 blah. You can do it for free, but you want to test your proof of concept, right? Because you're going to have to start gathering testimonials. That is the point. This is how you're going to make money. You're setting yourself up for that profitable $1 million course because you've identified people, one, you've identified your space in the market, and now you're going to test your proof of concept by having these groups, by doing this with people, by testing your concept. So a beta test group is not about making money right away. You gotta sow the seeds. Don't worry about that. I suggest that you charge. But you have to make it known that, like, hey, this program, this course is valid at $9.97, but I have an introductory rate for $2.97, blah, 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 for the first 10, 15, 20 people, right? Even if you do it for free, always let people know the value of what you're giving them, okay? And get something in exchange, especially if you're doing it for free. In order for them to get this product, collect testimonials. Okay. So you're like, okay. Early on, I told you that I made like $11,000 for my online course and I had not created it yet. Yeah. One thing about me, and I hope you don't get offended, but this is me, authenticity all the way. I have some big balls. I am not afraid to bet on myself. I'm just not. And I know what I know and I'm confident in what I know. So if you're here, I expect you to have big boss energy and do the same thing, right? We are going to sell some stuff before we create it. And this is how we're going to do it. You're going to create the outline, right? And in the outline, again, I told you this before, but I'm repeating it so it stays right here. You're going to identify what is the starting point. What information do these people know? If you're targeting a specific group of people, try to niche it down as much as you can. Are these people single moms with 1 kid, 2 kid, 3 kid, toddlers, teenage kids, grown kids, right? Because some people say, I want to help moms. I'm creating a course for moms. I'm creating all these things for moms. But it's like, which mom? I'm a special needs mom. I have a child with autism. Are you talking to me? I have toddlers, 2 toddlers. Are you talking to me? Are you talking to the mom who's an empty nester now? Her kids are in college. Like, who are you talking to, sis? Right? And once you identify that, it's like, where are they now? What information do they have? And we're going to outline the process for them to get to the final destination, right? So identify where they are now, what information do they have, what environment are they in, and what is their ideal place to be. People are going to pay you because you're going to help them. You're either going to help them save time, make money, decrease stress in their lives, okay? So how can you help someone save time, make some money, or decrease stress? And then I want you to think about the pain points, right? Pain points is an online term, for us social media people, marketing people. That's basically saying, what are the challenges? What are they dealing with? Because if you know what service, what expertise you have, how you can help them, and you understand where they are, then your outline is going to be addressing every challenge that they're going through. And you're going to give them solutions for every challenge. So when you're pre-selling, you're actually pre-selling a concept, right? When I said that I made that money and I pre-sold this information without creating it, I knew what my course was going to be about. Right? I'm not saying do this, and if you're not if you can't stand on 10 toes into your in your topic, like you have to know what you're talking about. That's another way to identify what you should talk about as well, is like, what can I talk about for hours? Right? What would I do for free? But you need to ensure that you understand what is going to be in your course, right? One, when you're pre-selling, what is the topic? Where are they now? Where are they trying to be? And what are the main challenges that they're having? These main challenges, more than likely, they're going to be modular. They're going to be the big categories that are covered in your course. And you're going to figure out solutions for each point. In order to pre-sell, that's what you need. You need this concept and you need to understand what they're going for. And then what do? You create a landing page, right? A landing page is a website. A website that's going to tell you, hey, service providers, coaches, CEOs, busy moms, I have this course that's going to help you create online course that's going to make you money in your sleep, on vacation, while you're at your 9 to 5. And this is real stuff because I've done it, right? I'm degular and I'm doing it, right? And this is how we're going to get there. So you're going to identify on that landing page, boom, boom, boom. What are the pain points? Boom, boom, boom. That's what you're going to do. And then you're going to give a little blurb about how you're going to help them through that, right? And this is what you do when you collect the money and you give yourself a goal. You're like, okay, I want to have at least 10, 20. This is a personal decision, right? Before I spend hours recording myself, I want to make sure that people are going to buy this. So this is my goal. So now I understand my goal. I understand what my topic is going to address. I'm going to create a landing page. Make sure you tune in on day 3 of this course, the Cash Jumpstart, because I'm going to talk to you about which platforms I use to do these things, right? How I pre-sell my course, right? I'm going to show you the different platforms because I want you to do this too. Why? I'm not going to gatekeep. You can make some money before you do this. And here's what you do though. You have your landing page. You identify what you're going to cover. And then when people register, you ask them questions. Hey, by taking this course, what are you looking to get out of it? You can word it however you want to, right? And then guess what? I do suggest having at least 1 or 2, maybe 3 videos recorded, right? An introductory video explaining what the course is about, a video introducing yourself and your journey, and then like the first step, right? You can record these videos. And then you're going to put them on a drip schedule. Drip means that you're going to schedule them out because it's going to give you time to create your content. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm letting you know how this is possible. People say, oh, I pre-sold, I made something without selling it. But you're like, how? How did you do that? So I'm giving you game. It's okay if it feels like it's a lot, but I'm just letting you know that it's possible. This is how you do it. You come up with a concept, you use the right terminology, you post it, you collect your money, and then you start recording. Any questions? Like, you guys, I know I'm throwing a lot. I'm just, I'm in my mood right now. Let me know if you have any questions. So now that you did all that research, you did your beta group, and you tested your concept, you did this for a reason. You did this to make sure that, you should invest more money into this business. There's levels to your business, right? I don't want you to feel like you have to invest so much money. You have to have everything perfect right now. There are levels to your business. One thing I regret early on, not regret because I still utilize it, but I spent thousands of dollars on my website before I was consistently making money. I wish, I didn't know. I wish I would have created a landing page, which is something that I can create myself. You can create yourself, and I can edit it myself. Because now every time I have I have to change something on my website, I have to reach out to the developer to change it for me because that's not something I know how to do. So I don't need you to think that you need to have, you don't even need a website. Listen, you don't need a website. You don't need a website to do this. Okay. I'm letting you right now. But Once you have your course topic, you designed and you started your beta test group, you need to gather feedback, right? Get feedback from people. What's the good, the bad, the great, the ugly? And you're going to improve the course. You have to keep improvising. There's different level, not improvising, improving, right? Like I said, there's different levels to your business. Because the next time you launch, you're going to launch at your premium price. And you're going to be able to spend 10 toes down on that price and on your product because you have testimonials now, right? You understand that what you're doing works because people have done it. And people are going to be attracted to you because you have these testimonials. You have a proven concept, right? And then you can focus on the other aspects of your business. So I know that was a lot. That was a lot. We talked about your $1 million course, and part 2 is going to be tomorrow. In part 2, we're going to talk about how to price your course to sell. One thing about me, I'm teaching you how to create quality online courses. My goal is for your course to be 500 and up. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's my goal. That's what I'm trying to aim for. But it depends on your business, and we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. What is your online course business going like? Your online course, what is this for your business? Is this an introductory product? Is this your core product? Is this your top tier product? We need to think like a business owner as we're thinking about the price, right? Because we about to get to the millions. Okay. So make sure that you join me tomorrow. I'm gonna be going live just like this again tomorrow. And we're gonna talk about how to price your course to sell. I know that today I covered a lot when it comes to picking your $1 million course. So I have designed a workbook that can walk you through the process that I went through today. And I also will be sharing this replay. I'm actually going to leave this replay online here until Monday. I'm going to leave this replay online and then I'm going to take it down. So if you're watching the replay, put replay in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. At this moment, I'm going to see if there's any questions. Hi, those. Hello. Thank you for joining me here on Instagram. I actually was sharing the presentation on Facebook, but if you want the replay, if you want to be able to get the PowerPoint, let me know and I'll send it to you. You can shoot me a DM. So do we have any questions at this time? Let me see. Let me give you guys a moment. Thank you. Of course, you're welcome. All right. So let me see. No questions. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for joining me today. I have fun. I hope you have fun too. And again, join me tomorrow for how to price your online course to sell. Listen, we're going to get you ready, okay? 2023 is your year. So I hope everyone has a beautiful evening and we'll talk soon. Adios.